You ain't happy to see them. You ain't happy to see them. This guy.
You do the introduction.
All right then. Okay then. Hi ladies. Today we're talking about what women need. King's struggling because I say hi ladies. See, he feels like to say it would sound a bit too soft. So he has to be like, hi ladies. But hi ladies. Today we're going to talk about what women need. So King will read out the points and then I'll go on to explain.
Yeah, I'm sorry, babe. I'm not doing all of that.
No, I hear you. You don't do it lady style. No, you're right. Because then you've got to say it how I say it, and then it's a bit.
I'll high picture that I do soprano. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the second part. Hopefully you've watched my part, and if you haven't, go back and watch that part, or watch this part first and go back to that. But either which way, watch them both, because I believe they're helpful. Anyway, so. This was on what women need, okay? We already done what men need. What do women need? And what we've done is we've sectioned them out into emotional needs, financial needs, physical needs, spiritual needs. And at the end, we'll have a verse of encouragement for you, just pertaining to the things that we've actually looked at. So first and foremost, Charlotte, when we spoke about emotional needs, we said that for you chimed out and you said you need to feel understood, and in feeling understood that you feel heard. You need to feel appreciated, like especially as homemakers. Homemakers can be made to feel like their role isn't valuable. So can you expound on that, share a little bit more?
No problem. Yeah, so basically, speaking of emotional, sometimes as women, we can be a bit too in our emotions, right? And that's not saying all the time, but because that is something that we can struggle with, sometimes when we share things with our spouse, he may write it off as it's not that deep, or she's being emotional. So what I wanted to really encourage the men with is to say, why are you laughing?
Because I've done that.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah. But we're speaking from the heart, isn't it? You see, I'm trying to say it in a roundabout way. We're not trying to bait you up. But then in saying it, we're like slyly saying anyway, they're going to know, oh, okay, so this is something
some of the stuff, yeah.
Yeah, some of the stuff, yeah. Let's not do that, because it's not been all bad, it's not been all bad. All right, yeah, so basically, so sometimes men, but it's not just you though, babe. Men be doing this. Like they'll say, oh, maybe she's on her period. It's not that deep. Or like if a woman shares a concern with you, or she's worried about something or fearful of something, don't be so quick to write it off as her being emotional, and just try and consider where she is coming from. Because that in itself, just feeling heard, can help her to feel so much better. Or maybe once you have a conversation, you can help her to put things into perspective. But if you already approach her with, oh, that's bothering you, then you've already kind of lost, yeah? And then she doesn't feel safe enough to come and share things with you. She'll just share with her girls, or maybe eventually another man, which is what happens.
But
right. Okay, come on, babe.
But sorry, I'm just going to throw a little conjunctive function in there. Is that just because we take time to understand you doesn't mean we have to agree.
No, 100%, yeah. And it's the same for women and men. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, even if you don't agree, at least try and understand where someone's coming from. That's empathy and compassion, And also to feel appreciated, because especially as a homemaker, our role, we're made to feel as if it's not valuable. For most of our marriage, there have been some times when I felt like, yeah, you're not appreciating. But for most of the marriage, you have bigged me up in this role. We already planned to homeschool and for me to be a stay-at-home mum. So King already valued that, right? But in the world that we live in, still to this day, I think there's been a little bit of a shift in society. But at the same time, there is very much an undertone of, oh, you're just at home, you're not working. So women who are at home are perceived as lazy, but people aren't considering how many things you're doing each day. There's no time for laziness. If you really want to raise good citizens who have skills, good general knowledge, they can contribute to their relationships, their wider community, whatever it is, then it takes a lot of effort and a lot of training. The personal hygiene, the domestic skills, the classwork, Bible. There's so many different areas in which we need to develop. So you can't just see it as lazy. So because of the world that we live in and people seeing it that way, we really need our man to let us feel like, babe, like I see how you did the dishes there, or whatever it is. It may sound small, but it's big. At least let your home be the place where you know that you're valued, Yeah, did you want to share something on that point? Did that make sense?
Yeah, that was perfect. Yeah. That was perfect. Yeah. And just back to the understanding, man, like literally if you don't understand, but But like I said, you don't have to agree. But if you don't agree, know that it's hot. It's hot for you.
Consequence.
Especially
you mean not agree with me? You're taking her side. I remember. Do you remember that time? Oh, when work.
What, school?
Yeah, I think I came and told you I was offended about something, and you didn't agree with me, and I was.
Oh, I understood though.
I did
understand.
I was vexed.
Yeah. I was vexed. I was basically Satan's best friend.
Yeah. Trust me. So men, just know there's a consequence either way. You know.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So the next one was, I'm just remembering it properly.
Yeah.
The next one was financial. Okay, financial, and that is for a man to have a good work ethic. Yeah. Maintain work, unless illness or otherwise, because these things can transpire. However, insurance. Yeah, and think of ways to earn multiple streams of income. Right.
So first of all, for a man to have a good work ethic, if this is something that you've already cultivated in yourself, something that we continue to try and cultivate and in our children as part of their homeschooling, then before you even get married as a man, you're already having a positive attitude towards work. You're already understanding that, hey, work was given to man before there was sin. Yeah. So before sin even arrived, Adam had a role. He had a job that he was doing. So it's a part of your character. So if as a man you have a real aversion towards work, then that really needs to be worked on, because you're going to carry that same attitude into marriage and you're going to struggle. Because guess what? You're not going to always feel like getting up, but you have to. You chose to get married. You chose to have children. They need feeding. And so therefore you have to work. And the reason why I put maintain work, unless ill or otherwise, is because sometimes people get ill and different things may happen as to why a man cannot work. But as long as you have that attitude of, do you know what, after I'm out of this rut, or if there's something else that I can do to make money, and you do that, then fine. But if it's a real valid reason why you can't work, then your wife should understand that. And thinking of ways to earn multiple streams of income. If a man is making a good amount of money and you're living within your means, then maybe you don't need to get other streams of income. But if you know that you have goals or a lifestyle that you want to live, and yeah, you may be living in your means, but you're seeing, the money, you just need more, then definitely show your wife that, hey, I'm thinking of different areas where I can make money.
Yeah.
And also think of things that we say, think of areas to where, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be so time consuming. We're just filming, baby. Okay, I'm coming, all right?
Yeah.
Good girl.
Anyway, I think it was Ecclesiastes 11:1 and 2. I think that's the text. Cast your bread upon many waters.
Let me quickly see what she needs. What he said.
Yeah, cast your bread upon many waters and such. I think that's the text. And so, we live in this world now, where we it's really difficult for one income to take care of everything. I work a pretty decent job, and I'm grateful for that. God sent me in the way of cybersecurity when cybersecurity wasn't a big thing at the time, and then literally as I was studying, boom, then all cybersecurity was everything for everybody, and so thankfully my job does a reasonable amount for us. But we still live in a world. Yeah. We still live in a world where we need more than one income, especially for security. It's like I come from a home where my mum has. It feels like if you were around my mum, it would feel like she has two of everything. She's got enough of everything so that she can at least give you one. I tried this one out, and this one didn't really work for me. So you can have this one because it might work for you. But I've got two others over here that I've got for myself now. That's my mum, and she does that without making the house feel like it's a hoarder's house, And we need to be the same with income streams. This is an income stream you might want to try, or I've got this income stream and this income stream. Why? Because it might break. Here's a great example. I've realized that this week, we came back home from being in London for a while. Our children had showers and all the rest of that, and then boom, shower head broke. Yeah, shower head broke. Yeah. Now the shower, I always tell them stop ramping with the shower head because they leave it and it swings and it bangs, and then obviously
that nice bang on the wall.
After a while, it's gonna bang and break. All right. So that's what happened. I'm realizing now that instead of when I go to buy a shower head, I can't just buy a shower head. I need to buy two shower heads. Why? Because I don't know whether I can trust my children to change their behavior. And so because I can't trust my children to change their behavior, I have to buy two. Now, we don't know whether we can trust the world to treat us nicely, whether you can trust your job to treat you nicely, whether you can trust your bank to keep all your money as yours, or if you can trust your income streams to your income stream to remain your income stream next week, next month, next year. So we need to diversify, or as the Bible says, cast our bread upon many waters, you know, for we don't know what trouble may come. And so we now have to go and get extra income streams. And you see, when we do that, what that does for your wife is it gives them a sense of peace.
Yeah, peace, security.
And that's the word I was looking for. Thanks, babe. Bring it back
in. What, peace and security?
Yeah.
Security. Yeah, you need emotional security and you need financial security as a woman. And a lot of times, sometimes men hear women say what they want and then they get resentful and feel like, oh, well, you're just a gold digger. No, they just want emotional security. And especially speaking from a Black experience, where a lot of us have not been trained financially, or we may have come from poverty, or not saying that I came from poverty personally, but just saying in general, you know, like may have come from poverty or a single parent home or whatever it is. When you've been through struggle, you get to a point in your life where you're like, well, I don't want to struggle anymore. So if a man is presenting to you struggle love, then you have every right. Do you see what I'm saying? You have every right to say, I'm not interested. I'm not saying that someone will have everything all together when you meet them, because you didn't. Didn't have everything emotionally, financially, spiritually all together. You can build each other up, but there needs to be, as I said, an attitude towards having an ambition. That's what I'm speaking to. Like letting the lady know that you want more for yourself. You know what I mean? Like you want to develop as a person and you want to develop financially, and let her live a life to where she doesn't have to think, oh, how are we going to be like, you see what I'm saying? Constantly fretting. Because when a woman's constantly in that zone of how are things going to get paid, you can't relax your mind. You can't feel safe and secure. So yeah.
And so for men, like literally, what can you do about that? What can you really do about that? You know, because a lot of us weren't trained, or even some of us, our parents are out there using our name and mashing up our credit from we were children. All different types of things have been happening to us. So you know, what can you do about it? Learn a skill. Yeah, learn a skill. Now, learning a skill is a difficult one sometimes when you're a bit older, because you have to bend your mind to learn something new. Yeah, get a trade, learn a digital skill, do something. It's going to cost you time. It's going to cost you mental energy. It's going to cost you a little bit more food, because you need a bit more brain energy to consume information. Or it might cost you a bit of fasting in order to really digest things properly. But you're going to have to spend time getting a new skill in order to gain new finance. Read more books. It might take you coming outside of your house, going to different events. I think we went to a trading event together.
Oh yeah,
you know,
and that's kind of what opened up your mind to I could try that. And it's not gambling.
We looked at the trade. Boy, we saw the money that they wanted us to pay to get involved, and we was like, hey. This might not be for us.
But I think
right
you should
now.
say, because you have more experience than me with that, it's not gambling, but it can become gambling, as you said, if you don't exercise patience and look into things properly.
Everything is gambling if you don't look well into the matter.
Well, boy, that's true.
If you just say, I'm going to go buy a house, you go say, yeah, great, boom, boom, boom. You know, like the housing market tries to make sure you're not gambling too much, but at least get a let and you have surveying a house. However, everything is still a gamble. Like, just understand, getting married is a gamble. You might look well into the matter. I might say, oh, you know, Charlotte, you know, and so on and so on and so forth.
And people change, unfortunately. People do not always for the best,
So you have to invest in your investments. That's the crazy thing. So as you're learning this new skill, you're going to have to continue to invest in that skill by staying up to date with the skills. And that's what will encourage your finance to remain flowing in. A good piece of advice I had from this guy called Ubon King, he's dead now, but check him out, Ubon King, was that, you know, you might build a business, and instead of looking for another income stream that's away from that business, just build a business on top of that business. You know. And so I think he had I think he had a business offshore or something like that. So what he did is he built a hotel. You know, he built a hotel on the shore. So when they came off, they could do that. And then he built parking. you know, and then he built, and so he had all these different businesses connected to his one thing, you know. So maybe if he was doing a digital, you know, he was doing digital consulting or something like that, maybe you could, you know, see if you can put some money into an ad company or something like that, own a percentage of an ad company or buy an ad company, make things that you use, turn them into what do you call it now, assets, instead of always being a liability for you. And I'm not talking like someone that's done all this great stuff, but this is good advice
Just
that
things
I've
that
heard.
you learned along the
Good
way.
advice that I've heard
Yeah.
that I'm about to start implementing, because quite frankly, I'd like to be the head and not the tail.
Yeah, amen, babe. All right, so yeah, the next one.
Which leads into, physical.
King, that sounds really funny because of what we're going to talk about with physical, and you said
Being the head and not the tail.
yeah, my mind's in the gutter.
Shyla.
My mind's in the gutter.
Shyla, save yourself.
Yeah.
Which leads into, you know, because we were talking about security.
I'm too immature to
we were talking about security. That's what I meant.
I'm too immature to
Which
talk
leads
about
into
sex.
physical, you know, and obviously, Sharla said sex, and then in brackets she'd written like, you may be irritable when not having it, and she don't mean me.
Yeah.
Explain.
Yeah. So basically, the reason why I put sex for physical is because a lot of time, and if you check my video Mutual Obligations, I mentioned this. A lot of times, sex, we talk about it and we say, well, make sure you meet the man need and give him what he need. But over the years, personally, I've realized, wow, I need it. I wouldn't say just as much as you, because, you know, generally men have a higher drive than women. But you need it a lot more than you realize. You need to prioritize it a lot more than you realize. And sometimes if you're feeling irritable and grouchy, it could be because, you know what, you just need a little piece of something. So, sorry, I shouldn't say a little piece of something because that sounds... Do you see I'm too immature? I'm too immature to talk about this. It's just because you're here. Because when you're not here, I'm so mature. I'm so like, do you see what I'm saying? But you're here, you're making me laugh.
All right.
No, but yeah, you need, but you know what I mean? Like, you need to have
something.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So sex is important for both of you. It's a beautiful thing, and it's something that you can pray about. I know some people be like, pray. Yes, because God made the human body. He made penises. He made vaginas, right? So you need to pray about it. And if you feel like you have a mental block towards it, say, Lord, please help me to open up more to my husband emotionally and physically. And yeah, we need it too. We do need it too.
Oh, and I'm sorry, I'm actually going to tag something in there for women. Yeah. Because personally, this is something I've been discovering for myself. I'm not trying to chat all over Charlotte's thing, but watch this. Men, you need to keep yourself in shape. Yeah. See that whole sex thing you're struggling with? Sometimes you're struggling with it literally just because you're not taking care of yourself.
I hear that, babe.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
Like, money makes legs do that. Taking care of yourself also makes legs do that. And the reason is when your wife looks at you and she sees you're taking care of yourself, it means that you are in good shape to take care of her and the family. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if an intruder comes into the house, like, we're not looking for you to get up all slow and lethargic, breathing heavy. When you're breathing heavy to get down, like, you can do something. If your child drops or needs you in an emergency, you can run, you can sprint, you can be strong, you can be there. Now, that's not taken away from people that may be, you know, that may have physical ailments that they can't rectify. We're not talking about that. That's completely different.
We're talking about when you have the ability to.
If you're able-bodied, get yourself into shape. It helps. Give your wife something nice to look at, man. Sure.
I hear you.
Like,
yeah.
It's not that she needs it. Just like you don't need her to be all skinny, you know. But it sure helps, don't it?
Yeah. And also it's about making the effort, not just for your spouse, for yourself. You know, make the effort for yourself, and then you're also making the effort for your spouse, right? And you're right, because subconsciously, if a woman is looking at a man and she thinks, you can't actually take care of me, if a man's expecting to get the thing, don't be surprised if it dries up, because subconsciously she's looking at you like, if a man broke in, you could even protect me, bruv. I'd have to think, do you know how deep that is? So a woman shouldn't have to feel like she's in survival mode. You'll see online a lot of women are talking about, I don't want to live in survival mode anymore. And this is what I'm speaking to. Women are realizing more that femininity is a beautiful thing. All it is, everything just leads back to God. God is the one who made a man, and he made one woman. And the more people realize that we go back to the Bible, and ladies, sorry, the video got cut off there. But basically what I was saying is, the more people realize or don't realize that when we just go back to the Bible and those roles given to us, like, life is a lot simpler and we're just happier, because you feel like you're just being who you're called to be. Yeah. All right. So that's for physical.
All right. So then after physical, we got spiritual, and it's for a man to be submitted to Christ.
Yeah, for a man to be submitted to Christ, because if you're submitted to Christ, then all the loveliness will come out of you. The compassion, the kindness, the understanding, the spirit of discernment will tell you, oh, my wife needs me to talk to her right now, or to listen to her, to hug her, whatever it is. As long as you're submitted to Christ, the best will come out of you. And that's all we ask of you, really. Just be submitted to Christ. Allow him to lead you, because as he leads you, you lead me. And once we can see the fruits of the Spirit in your life, we know that we can trust your leadership because you're led by the Father. All right, so the verse of encouragement is Luke chapter 6, verse 31. And as ye would that men should do to you, do ye also to them likewise. So we're speaking about needs, and a lot of these needs are like the things that you mentioned for men. A lot of those things are the things that women need.
That's a really
and the same
big
for
verse, you know. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
for the woman's side, I'm not gonna lie.
Well, you know what you want for yourself and how you want to be treated. Do that unto others. Why is it big for women? Why are you picking on us?
That's all right. Listen, no, literally. The reason I think it's big for women, yeah, is because like men are groomed and trained. Like literally, I'm in my girl's bedroom, yeah. This is where we film because it's nice, isn't it? Hey, big it up, you know.
Yeah.
And there are Barbie posters.
There's only one. This guy's so extra.
You know, Barbie books.
There's one.
And there's birthday cards and little dainty little stuff and
teddies.
All of this stuff, lots of the stuff that we see from young. It's geared into making a man or making a boy take care of a girl or a woman or us desiring you, you know, and doing stuff for you and buying stuff for you and how to make you feel happy and all the rest of that type of stuff. But this text here, Luke 6:31, and as you would, that men should do unto you. You see, as men should do unto you, do you also to them likewise.
And it's just saying men as in man.
We know, but it's right now.
We don't have to exegete the thing.
Get me? Now it's saying man them, innit? As the man
but it's fitting.
But I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. It's such a fitting text. So because we are groomed to do that. So I think a lot of men change. A lot of men change when they hit like the latter parts of secondary school time, you know what I mean? When they start to realize that girls are not princesses, and then or they're heartbroken for the first time. You know what I mean? That changes a lot for
become bitter.
Yeah, they become bitter and all of that. All that red pill stuff. You know what I mean? And so, but we are groomed to take care of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we are literally groomed to take care of you. This idea of the selfish man isn't selfish men ain't regular, because even in the world men ain't groomed to be selfish. That's the crazy thing.
Oh, you mean like with some of the jobs that men do that are like life, like they could lose their life?
No,
I
just mean in general. Like even if we take Christ out of the picture and take Christianity out of the picture, yeah, men are not groomed to be selfish. Everything that we're supposed to do is for family or for wife or for children, and then after that, if there's some space around that, then we can do like, I can, you know, XYZ. I remember I was dating this girl back in the day, yeah, and I think this was the area where I really started to learn about selflessness. Yeah, she had a child, yeah, lovely little girl, and I remember I'd got my job, I was working, I'd moved to a new city, I was working in the city, you know, and I remember that the child needed, what is it now? It's either like it must have been shoes or something like that. It must have just been shoes, or it was either shoes or a car seat, or, you know, because, you know, they grow and they just need new car seats. Yes. Annoying little things. You know what I mean? And I remember like looking at my pay packet and looking at that and looking at my shoes and looking at my pay packet and thinking, do you know what? It's going to have to be their shoes. You get me?
And that's admirable, because that's another man's child, and a lot of men would be like, "Boy, sir,
yeah,
you
but here's this is the point I'm making. Yeah, it's not to say King special. Yeah, because there's a
whole heap of men doing that.
There's a plethora of other men that will do. There's men that will do that, even though that's not their woman and that's not their child.
Love them.
But because we want, You see what I'm saying? And it's not to say that women don't do that as well for other people as well. But in general, men are groomed to take care of those that we see as weaker than ourselves.
Or like, you mean like when you watch the Titanic, you see women and children first going into the thing,
Right,
or how
right.
Jack put free, and everyone's like,
Right.
she let him die. Yeah,
Right.
but it's that mindset that's cultivated.
Exactly.
But a lot of women, when they do have real experiences, a lot of women do really believe that men are more selfish. I just believe that human beings, both men and women, are capable of being toxic and selfish, sincerely. Because for every man that you can say is selfish, there's a lot of women who have neglected and abandoned their children and marriages as well. Do you see what I mean?
Mercy.
So do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. But good text.
All right then.
Good text.
Yeah.
Great text.
All right then. Bye.
Toodaloo.